Did call me and asked me to participate in this event. I felt, first I was very excited about the opportunity. But then when I reflected upon it, I felt very humbled and honored. And that's because over the years, when I've worked with Kathy, I've really grown to respect her judgment and her knowledge. I first met Kathy when I, in a previous role, was the Assistant Secretary at the Maryland Department of the Environment. I had the great pleasure to work with Dr. Summers and several of my other colleagues, I think, are in the back there, which is a great experience for me. And Kathy at that time was at the Maryland Department of Business and Economic Development. And we had the opportunity to work together with other state agencies in a variety of renewable energy projects, as well as other issues. Over a short period of time, I realized pretty quickly that she's somebody who is a quick study, very sharp and insightful. I also learned that one of her real core strengths, although it's not certainly the only one, is that she follows through on commitments. And when you think about it, backing up one's words with actions is truly the currency of any real productive relationship or partnership, which is what this is all about. And if you agree with that, Kathy is a rich person indeed. She's somebody that can be counted on. She doesn't shy away from any task that's difficult, and yet at the same time, she's humble enough to recognize that when she does need assistance or input, she asks for it. She has, as we all do, a circle of trusted advisors and partners to seek input and guidance, many of whom are here tonight to help recognize in her accomplishments. The strength of any leader, as I think several of you know, is to provide vision, focus, and a clear direction. And then, because it doesn't stop there, to take the necessary steps to fulfill that vision. And that's really the hard part of it. Because setting goals is really relatively easy. It's the implementation that's difficult or the challenge. Somebody once said that to plan is human and to implement divine. Kathy is an implementer. She's results-oriented. She's a go-getter. She's a doer. In whatever professional capacity she's assumed, she's made a difference in very positive ways. Her distinguished career in public service includes being the Economic Development Director of Queen Anne's County, the Director for Resource-Based Industries at the Maryland Department of Business and Economic Development, and the Chief of Staff at the University of Maryland Biotech Center. In her current role as the Executive Director of the Maryland Clean Energy Center, she works with the Center's Board of Directors and its Advisory Board, which is comprised of over 50 organizations that she provides leadership in developing Maryland's green economy. Maryland citizens are very fortunate to have such a dedicated public servant. Tonight, Kathy is being recognized by the Maryland-Asia Environmental Partnership as the 2010 Partner of the Year for her leadership in mobilizing stakeholders in the energy sector through the Energy and Environmental Leadership Series. The Maryland Clean Energy Center joined the Maryland-Asia Environmental Partnership and launched this three-part series this year. Forums were held on the smart grid, energy efficiency, and renewable energy, and this created an opportunity for Maryland's leading energy companies to engage stakeholders about energy policies and technologies in the region, as well as investment opportunities in Asia. It is exactly this type of dialogue and leadership provided by Kathy that will enable us to fully deploy green energy technologies. So for her professionalism, her leadership, and her let's get it done attitude, she's being recognized this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and recognizing Kathy Magruder.
Thank you, Steve. Steve is such a good friend. I thought, Peter, when you said we were going to have fun, it was because you were having me up here next. And I have to say that my hat's off to you, because there's very few people I know that can get so many people from Maryland to come into D.C. after dark. So good for you. Jim Connaughton, wherever you are, if you're still here, thank you for stealing much of my speech tonight. And in terms of partnerships, I really would like to take the opportunity to recognize again Abigail Hopper, the Governor's Energy Policy Advisor. Abby, I know you're not feeling well tonight, and I'm really grateful that you made a point to represent the Governor and be here tonight for all of us, so thank you. Normally, I'm sitting in the audience at these events or running around like a crazy person trying to make sure that things are running smoothly. So it's an honor to be here, and I'm really humbled to be standing here being lauded for my efforts. And I have to say, Rita Caldwell probably never thinks about this, but I was hoping that I would have a good hair day today. Seriously, though, I really want to acknowledge my fellow awardees tonight, Paige Bethke, who I've known for years and really admire. We earned our CECDs together after much trauma. And Rita Caldwell, who is truly a remarkable woman. I admire her so much. And I do believe that the success of one person is direct correlation to who they surround themselves with, and that they have a core belief that their work somehow makes a difference. This kind of award presents two opportunities: to advocate for a cause and to express gratitude to those who carry your water, steer your ship, follow your lead, keep you in line, have your back, and lift you up when the going gets tough. This award is about fostering partnerships, which is appropriate in that any success I can take credit for, Jim Connaughton, is the result of the partners I have been surrounded by, many of whom are in the room tonight. I'm immensely grateful and blessed to have you in my team and in my life. I would especially like to recognize my better half, Jim Beecham, and my lovely daughter, Grace, and Mac, who's missing tonight, and my MCEC family, board members and staff, advisory board members who are here tonight, Debbie Parrish, Jim Pierbon, and Terry Daly. Would you all please just stand up real quick and let me give you a round of applause for taking care of me all the time. I also believe that the only real certainty in life is change, and that each of us are, in fact, change agents. Change begets opportunity, and I believe we must change our energy paradigm in order to improve the health of our ailing planet. The Maryland Clean Energy Center was created with the vision of people who understand that action speaks louder than words, and when it comes to getting things done, we must broaden our partnerships to sustain the efforts that we've begun. As a nation, we are dangerously dependent on foreign sources of fossil fuels, and I also believe that the interest of our national security as well as our environment, we must reduce demand and develop alternative sources of energy. Addressing this challenge is the way forward for America to generate jobs, lift our economy, and create a sustainable future for our grandchildren. And Grace, I can wait. This will take a global partnership, which is fostered by people like Peter Gourlay, organizations like the Maryland Asia Environmental Partnerships, and our global partners across the world. Peter, I want to particularly thank you for your personal and professional support this year. It's been a challenging year, and I'm grateful. And finally, I believe that where there's a will, there's a way. Please take a moment on your way home tonight to think about one action you can take tomorrow that you haven't already taken that could make you a partner in the energy paradigm shift we all need to make. It could be small, like replacing incandescent light bulbs with CFLs, or grand, like purchasing an electric vehicle when you buy your next car. It could be as simple as going to the MCEC website and registering to attend the MCEC Legislative Day in Annapolis on January 27th to help get the message out to policymakers that they must make brave decisions and lead the way for us to effect this change sooner than later. In closing, I want to thank all of you for being here tonight with me and the rest of us to celebrate. And once again, please help me congratulate Peter Gourlay with a round of applause for producing another fabulous MD-AEP event.